Hello everyone, this is John from Coins, RPGs, and More. Oh, I'm sorry, RPGs and More. Um, and I wanted to do a quick upload today. I'm feeling under the weather, so I'm not going to be my usual exuberant self. But it's been 3 weeks since I've posted something, and I just really want to do something for it. This is for my own mental health as well. Feeling like I've actually contributed something to the world instead of just sitting back and relaxing. I'm under the weather because I took my booster shot for the COVID vaccine, and it's really kind of kicking my butt. So I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. Um, Almost a week ago, I filmed an hour-long video talking about a role-playing system that I really enjoy. Um, but it took trying to get it uploaded to YouTube took a lot longer. And after spending almost 16 hours trying to get this thing uploaded from my phone to YouTube, I canceled it. I gave up. And so this video is kind of reshooting that in a shorter format. The system I want to talk about is called Backswords and Bucklers. Backswords and Bucklers is a very it's based on Swords and Wizardry White Box. It's written by, hold on. It's written by Christopher Cale. And what it does is it takes the concept of adventuring in the time of Queen Elizabeth I. That's why you see her on the cover here. In a extremely low to no magic, gritty setting, primarily focused on London. It really doubles down on that setting. The idea that your characters are a bunch of ne'er-do-wells and knaves and whatnot, what have you, that kind of inhabit the taverns of London, and you go trawling from one tavern to the next, doing odd jobs here and there to get more money so that you can go to the next tavern and spend it to get yourself wasted. And that's kind of the idea is that you're a bunch of people that kind of, in society's view, kind of suck. But it lends itself well to lots of short, quick adventures. And that's kind of part of what I want to talk about is one, it really does the flavor very well. There are only 3 classes. There's the fighting man. There's the scoundrel, which is a replacement for the rogue. But the scoundrel I like because there's a few different things to the scoundrel's character or abilities that really make it a little more unique, primarily in how they gain experience. Scoundrels gain experience by spending money. So your focus is going to be on earning money. You earn it so you can spend it. And that's the only way they really gain experience points. You don't get experience points for doing other things. You gain experience points for spending money. So you're really incentivized to get a fortune and then spend it all, like a scoundrel would. And I kind of like that. Fighting men, they're focused on fighting. They gain experience by fighting. And the wise man or the cunning man or the wise woman, they're kind of like the mages of the setting, but their magic is focused on creating cures and performing surgery using alchemy or using a dowsing rod to find things, which is kind of I haven't seen that in a role-playing game before. Not in this much detail as any, really short game can provide. And I thought it was done pretty well. So I liked that. I liked those concepts for the characters. Combat is extremely deadly. There's a few rules in there that make it even more so. One of them being ranged weapons do a number of d6s of damage equal to your character's level. Or your character's attack bonus or something. I forget. I'm tired. Sorry. but it's one of those two, and it's in there, and it's really neat. It's a neat way of managing how do we have characters be more powerful as they level up without just adding more dice, more attack rolls to the thing. Like somehow my 10th level rogue is firing 10 arrows and or not 10 arrows, but firing 5 arrows in a 10-second round. Like how does that work? And instead you're still only firing the one arrow, but when that shot hits, that's going to deal 10d6 damage. Damn, you know, because your character is that good and they know where to place that shot. They're just that much more accurate to be that much and that much more deadly with their shots. So I kind of like that, and I'm considering stealing that concept not just for ranged weapons, but also for melee weapons. And if I were to write my own retro clone, I might do that because I think that adds a cool element, and it helps also keep fighters more effective in combat over the long term, especially when there's magic users that are pumping out fireballs and dealing 86 damage or whatever the number is for that fireball, and now you've got fighters like, well, you can do that, but I'm pumping out 8d6 damage with my 8d6 plus 8 with my greatsword, so just for fun. Oh, okay. The other thing that's neat, there's 3 books for the setting. There's the adventure book that adds in a bunch of adventures, and they have a focus on the supernatural in some cases. So if you wanted to do Elizabethan X-Files, this system would lend itself well to that. The thing that really I want to talk about is the third book, or the second book. But it's book 2, but it's the third book in the 3-book series. Tavern Trawling is the name of the book, and the reason why I want to talk about it is because this book contains the best tavern name generator I've ever seen. If you ever are hungry for a name of a tavern and you're really tired of just being like, I want the Duck and Goose Inn or some other thing you come up with on top of your head, go to this book, find it, and it'll really open up some stuff. I mean, it's still going to be based primarily on the kind of names that you would see in London during that time period. So be aware of that. But at the same time, it's a pretty detailed random rolling chart, and it's kind of neat. It has 3 aspects to it. You figure out what's the name format. So you roll for the name format, and then depending on what format you roll, you are rolling for the noun, the verb, the color, and then the number that could be included. So you could end up with, the 4 broken beggars, or the 4 beggar tavern, or just stuff like that. And then there's a name generator. If you just want to come up with nicknames for people and you don't want to go through the whole rigmarole of figuring out a family name and all that stuff, it's got a quick nickname generator, which I think is kind of neat, especially for NPCs that I don't really want to go into too much detail about. But the real piece de resistance, I'm not sure that's the right phrase, but the real big to this, the chef's kiss to this book, is the job tables, or the quest generator. It's the best random quest generator I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that I'm a connoisseur of these things. I'm not. I have the book of adventure design and I quite like it. But let's be honest, it's a huge tome and it's highly detailed. And if you've got time to go through it because you want to create something either really grand or something to publish, and you need that inspiration, go for it. That book's perfect for it. But if you just I just need something for this Saturday and I'm stumped, or I need something for today because my party's going to be here in an hour and I don't have anything prepped, and so you grab a bunch of D20s and roll them out on this chart and you're good. So what you have is the first table is the patron. which means the patron of the tavern, because it's assuming that all quests are starting in a tavern, and that's one of the assumptions of this system, because it takes place in London, England, that your characters are tavern trawlers, and you're moving from one tavern to the next, and that's kind of just assumed to be what's going on. So if you like that sort of thing, if you like starting in the tavern for every adventure, I mean, you're pretty good here. You should be right at home. Anyway, so you roll on the patron to say what kind of patron is it? Is it a mysterious stranger? Is it an off-duty constable? Is it an ex-lover, or your current lover who's asking you to do something? And then after that, you roll on the who they represent. Excuse me. Who they represent. Because usually they're not going to no one, they're not going to ask for themselves. They're an agent for someone else, unless you roll on the chart. One of the options is they represent themselves. Okay, then that's what's going on. But you get things like they represent nobility, they represent a local fence, they represent a foreign embassy. Maybe the Spanish ambassador is looking for a little side help with a plot so that they can do something fun with your campaign setting, and you want to decide, or your players then get to decide, is the money more important than sticking it to the Spanish for the sake of good old England. And that's a decision. It's a neat decision, because you can actually like roll up 3 different jobs on these tables, and then let the players choose which one they want to take, because it's all pretty small and simple. You also can roll in the type of job offered. Or is this an assassination? Are you smuggling something? Are you going to try to smuggle something into a building or out of a building, or smuggling it out of the city? Maybe you've got to smuggle a relative of the Spanish ambassador out of the city because the French ambassador is accusing them of something inappropriate, and they need to go before the French find them, or before the English blow the whole thing up and shame everyone and everyone loses face. Some kind of intrigue. It really lends itself well to intrigue. Maybe it's a protection racket. Maybe it's blackmail. You could be being asked to kidnap somebody. You're not good guys in this. That's the thing that I kind of like about this. You're not good guys. There's no heroes here. I mean, you can try to be heroes if you want, but the game assumes that you're a bunch of rogues and knaves and ne'er-do-wells. And then you also roll on what kind of reward is being offered. This is the one that is spoken of. The reward that they're saying, like, this is what we want. We will give you in return, and the reward varies. You roll a d20 and you can get different options. It could be just 1d6 silver coins. Okay. Could be maybe this person's saying, like, I have an in on some old military equipment. Maybe you need a new sword. I can get you a only slightly used sword for free if you do this job for me. It's not free, but it's you don't have to pay me money. You just do this job. It's going to be so easy. It's a milk run. And any savvy player runs for the hills when they hear the term "it's a milk run." Anyway, the other options, you get a discount on food and drink. Maybe you get if you do this for us, then your reward is the fact that next time we'll come looking for you again. Maybe you'll get some steady employment out of this. Maybe you'll win a piece of property. Maybe you'll get some other services. Maybe this person is a doctor and now they'll handle your medical. Wouldn't that be nice? And then the final thing you roll on is a d20 roll for complications, because nothing's ever going to go smoothly. That's the first rule of Quest Club is complicated. And there's a lot of stuff in here, like the patron's lying. That's a lot of these kind of come down to the patron's lying. Oh, the law is involved. So you got to either avoid the law or you're going to be caught by it. There's a rival gang trying to complete the same job. Maybe the patron disappears midway, and now you have no way to get paid. Um, you don't know what happened. And so now the adventure continues as you try to find out what happened to the patron. It changes, it morphs. Or maybe there's a conflicting job offer. Maybe there's two different people looking for the same item, and you've got to pick one because you cannot play them off of each other. Um, the English or an English courtier and a French courtier both want a particular document, or a particular item. Maybe there's this silver ball with intricate rune markings on it, and it cannot be duplicated. You've got to give it to one or the other. And whoever you give it to, that's going to affect what reward you get. It's also going to affect who might deal with you more in the future, and you've got to make that choice. And maybe that choice ends up, maybe you give it to the French embassy, and then they give you a ride to France, and suddenly the adventure changes, and you're no longer in England, now you're in France. Um, so this, anyway, like I said, this is the most comprehensive random job generator that I've ever seen, and in this small of a concept. I mean, the Book of Adventure Design is the most complex, I should say. That is the most comprehensive quest generating thing I've ever seen, and that thing's several hundred pages long, and it's amazing. Full respect to it. It absolutely. If you've got it and you want to use it, use it. But if you just want something quick and short, sweet, this book's got you covered. I'm actually planning on using this. I have used this in my own campaigns that I run for my friends to create quests. We actually played this system for a couple of sessions because it was fun. But I've used it outside of that in order to generate side quests, and in some cases things that turned into main quests. They were all, the ideas, the germ all started with this table. So it works. It really does work. I'm not blowing smoke. And I'm working on a solo setup that I'm going to put together, that I'm going to start presenting maybe in the new year, depending on how much work I get done. I'll probably do a few more videos showing what I'm developing, and then actually start playing in the new year. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of time before the holiday break, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to do because I'm tired and sick, and I still have work. So yeah, unless anyone wants to donate, thousands and thousands of dollars, and I don't have to work anymore. I'm kidding. Don't do that. I like my job. I'm just tired today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Um, it's a fun system. It's got some cool ideas. The job generator is the best part. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. Peace be with you. Bye bye.